Susie Hunter with Pine Valley Realty, and I am so excited today to be here with BJ Chandler, standing in their 2019 Parade of Homes. BJ, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
I know right now it's crazy and busy, and you took time for us, so thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Before we get started about the home that we're standing in, we are going to take a tour through it, and I'll show you all the cool features about it. I'm one of Millhaven's greatest fans, and I want BJ to tell us a little bit.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about Millhaven, how it got started, and maybe what makes Millhaven stand out from being one of the finest custom home builders in Utah.
So Millhaven Homes has been around for 11 years, and we've really evolved. We started out as a small semi-custom builder. We really just tried to offer our clients whatever they wanted. We didn't tell them no. And over time, our clients pushed us into a higher market and more selections and more options. And eventually we just became completely custom. Now we've evolved to be more of a building group where we have every aspect of the building process included in-house. So rather than you having to go out and get a plan designer and an interior designer, and a builder and try and put them all together, we can do everything streamlined from start to finish, starting with the plans, building the house, doing all the interior design all the way down to the furniture, and then managing the process all under one umbrella with really smart, intelligent people that are well versed in their area of expertise.
For sure. You have the greatest team. I've worked with Millhaven before. I've watched somebody come in with a napkin, hand draw a picture of a home, turn it over to you, and you guys take it from there. You do the home, you see them all the way through the process, and that's probably one of my favorite things about Millhaven. So that's awesome.
It's fun.
So tell us about this house that we're standing in. If someone were to come into the house, what are some of the things you for sure want them to notice when they come in?
Absolutely. So you'll notice in a lot of our houses that they feel very livable. There's a lot of things you can do that can jazz a house up, but they don't necessarily add function and value long term.
Right. Yes.
And so we really try and be practical. We try and make sure that the flow of the house is something that meets the family's needs. So the efficiency in the way that we build is there.
For sure.
I think in this house, you'll see there's a lot of warm tones. It feels very livable. There's good access, tons of natural light. This particular house you'll see when you shoot the video, the windows were framed up so we could capture the view of Mount Timpanogos Temple.
Yes.
And you'll never see anything built that will take away their view. And the main floor and the second floor master both have perfect center views of the Timpanogos Temple. So that was a big deal.
Well, the temple, and then look right beside it, that gorgeous, majestic mountain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just picturesque.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So you have to come to the lot and meet with the clients and see what their needs are, but then you have to figure out where's the best way to fit the house.
For sure.
And that's another thing that our team will do is as we work through the process, it's not just building the house, it's how does it fit in its environment the best way.
Yeah.
So the other thing I think you'll notice that's common in all our houses is really great finish work, really fine painting, great detail with all the trades that come through. Some of the fun features in this house are there's obviously a court.
Right.
It was more of a volleyball court. It's almost a full basketball court. So it's multi-purpose. All the blinds in there, even though they're 24 or 25 foot ceilings, they're all automated. So when the sun comes in, but when they're open, you can still see the views of the mountains. So it's really pretty around there. We have a dedicated theater in this home, which we don't do very often, but this one turned out phenomenal. And then we have something we've never done before, but it's a virtual reality reality
I'm
room.
so excited to see that.
Yeah, so it's got certain specs and it's set up. I can't say that I totally understand but it's perfect for people who are into virtual reality.
Yeah,
so,
which seems to be a theme.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's a couple other things that might appeal to people. Yeah, the yard, even though it's only 0.66 of an acre and the house is 9,600 feet, most of the yard is in the back. And so we have a really wide spread.
It feels
just
so
feels
much
open.
bigger than that.
Yeah, it really does. I was surprised when we put the house up that we ended up with that much space in the backyard, because most of the time we don't. But the way the cul-de-sac was shaped, it wraps the lot, and it turned out perfect.
Yeah.
So the yard's great. We've got a lot of places for people to gather. I mean, that's really what we see a lot. When people come in, the first or second thing they say to me is, hey, we want a space where we can just get together and gather.
Yep.
They want something open, families can come back, they can have parties, and this house definitely has that.
Definitely gathering spaces.
Yeah.
I've noticed that too, talking to people. Like, it seems years ago it was segmented rooms. Now everything's about open concept, gather together, bring everyone in the same room, which you do beautifully.
Thank you.
So what are you seeing coming up? What are some of the trends? Maybe what are some of the cool things that are coming up that you're doing in houses?
Well, the options just keep expanding.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's hard to nail it down. I would say about a year ago, we started to do a couple rec spaces, and now, honestly, we build more houses with a basketball court or a dedicated rec space than we do without, because especially based on last winter.
Right.
Last winter it was the worst. I mean, my kids were inside. I just wanted them to get out. So I think that's a spend that's a little bit extra, but if a client can afford to do it, it's the money that they will be appreciative that they spent. I mean, they'll never regret building a dedicated space where kids can just go and get their wiggles out and the family can gather. We've seen them be used for school dances, family parties. We have a neighbor down the street from this house that we built that did a court, and they're doing a disco ball in there. They want to have adult prom in there.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So the space there is, I mean, just when you have a dedicated open area like that, it's really whatever you can create.
For sure.
That's what you can turn it into. So I would say that a lot of people, they're trying to push there, even if the house is a little smaller, so they can afford to have that space. They're trying to add that in. You know, I think some of the colors, some of the trends are going to start to change a little bit on the exterior. Yeah, I think we've done craftsman style forever. And it's I mean, it's a safe play and
super classic.
People are always going to build craftsman, but I think we're going to start to see a lot of darker exteriors, higher roof pitches.
I like that.
Bigger windows.
I like that.
We already feel like we're maxing out windows, but I think we'll see a lot more of that. But again, with the technology in building and the creativity of the people in the building industry, it's hard to pinpoint exactly where things are going to go because there's so many options. Yeah. It's great. It's great to see.
For sure. Oh, I love it. Do you think there's anything maybe that's from the past that people are trying to bring to the future that you don't think is worth the money?
We rarely do like a dedicated living room.
Right.
That usually is gone. Even that front office is somewhat optional now. Still, the majority of people are doing it, but some people are opting out. Tubs. Usually we're only keeping one tub in the house. Not always doing a tub in the master.
Oh, I'm such a tub person.
Yeah.
I guess when you build my next house, I'll definitely have to still have a tub.
Yeah, it just depends on the person. That's one of the things that we ask them up front. But even in the kids' bedrooms, you know, it used to be always a tub shower combo. And now we start to see just walk-in showers in a kid's room.
That's interesting.
So those are some of the things that people are used to doing and haven't. You know, some of the things that I think can really drive the cost of a home up that don't necessarily add a ton of value. Sometimes an exterior, unless you've just got some money to burn, you don't necessarily have to drop it into some of the more expensive exterior options like a natural brick or painted brick. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. We love it. But sometimes people will opt for accents of those items. And then they'll use hardy board, and then maybe in the back they'll do a nice smooth stucco that fits the style. So it just kind of depends on overall budget. That's what we try and do at Millhaven is I call it the Rubik's Cube of budget. You come in, you tell us what your amount for the house is going to be, and then we try and figure out what are your needs that you have there, and then we try and figure out the best way to fit it all together. Sometimes it takes some tweaking. You might have to lower some of your finishes, or you'll have some extra to do some things, but eventually we get the number that works out for everyone.
And then it turns into this.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
So the parade it started Thursday, it goes to June 22nd, right?
Yep.
And you've had, what, how many
We've
people?
had about 2,000 people through so far. The weekdays aren't as busy as the weekends.
So there's a clue.
Yeah,
Come on the weekdays.
Yeah, and we'll do some fun things. We're going to do some giveaways. We're going to give away there's a local manufacturer of a really cool skateboard.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to give those away. We're doing crumble cookies and just stuff to keep it mixed up and people can have fun. And
That's awesome.
But yeah, we've had a great time. We really love to interact with the people as they come through the parade rather than just sit there and
true.
we make a lot of friends.
That's very true with you.
Yeah, so it's
So
fun.
we need to do a shout out, right, for
Yeah.
your designer.
Yeah,
This is incredible.
So this one was actually done by an outside design firm. It was Remedy by Design, and their team is great. We've built other houses with them, and their execution is phenomenal. So we do both. We can work with an outside designer, and we can work with our in-house designer. But yeah,
Which
they
is
did.
Bree, right? And she's incredible.
Yeah, and Bree does a great job. Yeah. So, but they did everything. They helped with the exterior. They did all the furniture, all the accessories that you see in the house. That was all their team.
And they have a store in Spanish Fort called
Yes.
Elements, which is beautiful and amazing, and I love shopping there.
Yeah.
So it's a good place to go.
Yeah, for sure.
So just to kind of wrap it up, thanks again for doing this with us. We do have 2 tickets we're going to give away. All you have to do is go on to the video, like the video, follow Millhaven Homes, follow SPH Real Estate, and we are going, and leave a comment, and we're going to give 2 free tickets to the parade. We will announce winner on Wednesday morning.
If you need 2 more, let's put 2 more in there.
We'll do 4.
Millhaven will put in 2, make it 4.
All right, we'll do it 4.
So, okay.
And be sure to come here, and you'll probably see BJ in here, and stop and say hi to him.
Please.
Love to chat with you.
Yeah.
And have a great day. Remember, the more you give, the more you have, and we'll see you next time.